In the last episode of Vector Games, we took a look at the early real-time strategy classics Warcraft 2: Tides of Darkness and the first two titles in the Command & Conquer series. But let's go back even further. Let us go back to the very beginning of the real-time strategy genre. There were many strategy games back in the 80s already, and one of them, called The Ancient Art of War, is considered by many as the very first real-time strategy game. However, the combat in that game took place in a completely different manner. You did command your units in an overhead view, but as soon as combat started, you had to click on your units again in order to get to a close-up screen where you could see them in a side view confronting the enemy. From this perspective, you could select specific enemy units to attack. The very first game that stayed in the bird's eye view at all times, also during real-time combat, was Westwood's Dune 2: The Building of a Dynasty, or Battle for Arrakis as it was called in Europe. Dune 2 was based on the legendary sci-fi saga Dune, which consists of 6 novels by Frank Herbert. One should say loosely based though, as the story doesn't exactly follow the plot of the books. It should rather be considered as a combat simulation that exists in the same universe with many references to the source material. The biggest difference from the books is one of the 3 factions, or houses, you can pick and play as. The noble House Atreides is considered the good side and home of the protagonist of the book, and the House Harkonnen is the evil side. But the insidious House Ordos doesn't appear in the books at all. It is only mentioned briefly in the 1984 Dune Encyclopedia by Dr. Willis E. McNally. The only 2 things mentioned about the Ordos are that it's one of the 116 houses that existed at the beginning of the reign of Emperor Muad'Dib, and that its pennant consists of 2 crossed bones with an ivy garland. The emblem in the game, showing a book encircled by a serpent, is actually the emblem of the House Warlock. Well, artistic license, I guess. For the 1998 Dune 2 remake, Dune 2000, this emblem was kept. But in the sequel to it, Emperor: Battle for Dune, which was released in 2001, it was changed to a serpent encircling the home planet of the Ordos, the ice-covered planet Sigma Draconis 4.